Hello, my name is Adolfo and this is Life of Adolfo. Today I'm going to give you the requirements that we took to get a PSA birth certificate and the reason why we got it. The reason that we got it is because we're trying to get passports for the baby. He is 3 months old. The US passport, one of the requirements is to get him a PSA birth certificate. My wife is trying to get him a Philippine passport, and one of the requirements is also a PSA birth certificate. What's the difference between a regular birth certificate and a PSA? One looks like a birth certificate, I want to say from every country, and the other one is a green paper with details, no lines, no nothing, just information on it. And that's the PSA. To cover this, I'm going to let you know that I'm in Cebu. So in other places, it might be named something else, the first part. And the first part that we went is Cebu House. If you're in Manila, it might be called Manila House. I'm not sure. Davao, I'm not sure with the name. On that area, you're going to get the birth certificate. You're going to get a copy of it. You have to go in Cebu. We had to go look for it somewhere where we could make a copy, a legal size copy of the birth certificate. And once we went to the Cebu House, they got a stamp. I'm going to jump a little bit ahead right now. And the reason I'm going to jump ahead is because I need to give this information just in case you're planning to get 2 copies. And this is according to the PSA office, because I told her I wanted 2 copies and she said you only provided 1 copy stamp from Cebu House. Meaning that I should have made 2 copies and get the 2 copies stamped, and then she could provide me 2 PSAs. Of course, I had to pay the extra for the second one. Now, going back to Cebu House, where we got the copy stamp, the cost of that stamp is 100 pesos. The printing, I'm not going to tell you how much it costs, because you might find a less expensive or more expensive place to make a copy. Or you have a printer at home that does legal size paper. At that point, you have an option. You could go to the main PSA office or other locations. I'm speaking in Cebu for Cebu right now, because if we would have gone to another place to do the PSA, which our PSA office, I assume, it would have taken 1 or 2 days to give us the copy. But we decided to go to the PSA main office in Cologne. And on that one, they gave us the copy, the PSA, in 3.5 to 4.5 hours. And the reason is because they made a mistake in our PSA, the name, and we had to wait longer so they could give us a correct PSA. Like I mentioned, it took us 3.5, 4.5 hours. It would have taken 3.5, and it was approximately 200 people at that point. Another thing that I want to cover, like I mentioned, it's the same day process, but if you arrive early. If you arrive late, we'll say 10 minutes, 20 minutes before they close, you might not get the form the same day. There's 3 steps in that area, actually 4. The first step, you have to fill up a form. Then you go through these steps on the windows, step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 2 is where you pay your fee. Step 3 is where you get your PSA. And that's all I got for this. It's an easy process, but it's a lot of waiting game. There's lines that you have to wait. There's 2 locations that you have to go. Like I mentioned, here in Cebu, you have to go to Cebu House, and then you have to go to PSA. Maybe Manila has Manila House and then PSA. And that's about it. The difference between both birth certificates is one is a regular birth certificate, and the PSA here in Cebu is green. It has a bunch of things written on it. It doesn't look like a birth certificate from the US or the one here in Cebu. It's different, no lines or nothing, just information written. And that one, I forgot to say or mention, it costs 155 pesos. So a total of 255 pesos that we spend on the stamp and on the PSA. You need the stamp to get the PSA. So 100 pesos in Cebu House and 155 in PSA. Thank you, and thank you for watching.